Welcome to the first part of this radio presenter training program. What will be covered in this training is both the theoretical and practical skills you will need to become a professional radio presenter. There are also the important skills involved with speaking correctly, apart from the technical skills of controlling the audio mixer and audio devices. In later modules, we'll move into more advanced topics of radio station management and all the behind-the-scenes tasks and work that are needed to keep the radio station going. Before launching into how to speak and how to mix the content, it's important to have the right mindset of a presenter. This mindset will help you when you are unsure about what you should do in normal day-to-day shows, as well as when in difficult situations that may come up here and there. The first important thing to remember is that you're always speaking to one person. Many new presenters think about the thousands of people listening, and so they think they are speaking to lots of people. But people listening don't think of themselves as lots of people, but only one person. To connect with your listeners, always talk as if you're only talking to one person. This may feel awkward at first, but it will make a huge difference to how the audience responds to you. The listeners may actually start to feel like they know you, as opposed to you just being some person on the radio. This can grow your audience as well as help you move up to better shows on the radio station you're at, and even to move to better radio stations. Some presenters go as far as having a photograph of a person in the radio studio to talk to. This reminds them because it feels strange to look at one person and say, "Hey, all of you." If you find yourself saying things like, "Hi, all of you," or "Good morning, all you listeners," then you have gone the wrong way. Always speak in a way that you would do to an individual and not to a group of people. Also, even though you feel like the listeners are all out there, they don't feel that way because they are here, right next to the radio. So it's even worse to say things like, "Hey, all of you out there." This is often portrayed incorrectly in movies, which further reinforces this misconception. Talk to one person and talk to them as if they were right in front of you. With that in mind, let's look at how you should speak on the radio. In many people's minds, radio presenters have a big broadcast kind of sound to their voice, so when they begin to present, they try to make a big voice. This is partly because of a misunderstanding about how the audio is processed in radio broadcasting. In the young presenter's mind, the need to sound big becomes a fake-sounding, unnatural performance. While it is good to have a smooth, controlled and energized voice for radio, a made-up voice is not good. It's both unpleasant to listen to and does the opposite of what you think it is doing, which is to make you sound big. It is often this misunderstanding that makes the amateur presenter easy to spot. While they are trying so hard to sound professional, they sound more and more amateur. Also, keep in mind, the way a presenter sounds in person is often different to how they sound on the radio because of microphone techniques and massive amounts of audio processing. This audio processing is often what makes huge commercial stations sound powerful, while community or low power stations sound limp and weak. For example, this is how my voice sounds without any processing as you're hearing it now. But if I turn on the processor, this is what it sounds like. There is a huge difference, and this can confuse people into thinking that they need to sound that big without any processing. There are many types of processors for voice enhancement, but they all basically do the same thing. That is to make the presenter and the music sound larger than life. The voice, and often the music too, is heavily compressed, giving it a strong bass and punchy sound. The voice and music are often processed separately, but some radio stations combine it all together in one piece of processing equipment. To continue learning more, be sure to sign up for the Radio Presenter Training Program for as little as $5 a month. There are also additional extras if you're willing to spend $10 a month or more. So let's recap what we've learned. Firstly, we need to speak on the radio as if we're speaking only to one person. Next, we need to speak with the correct energy that is lively but not over the top. Finally, we learned that audio processing is a huge part of the way radio presenters sound, so don't be fooled into thinking that radio presenters sound massive in person like they do on the radio. So sign up to the Radio Presenter Training course and let's continue learning about how to become a great radio presenter. See you in the next lesson. Cheers.